In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 powerful visualization processes, all of which I use in my own life. I've used from going from a 9-to-5 job I wasn't passionate about, through traveling around the world, doing what I love, growing a following online. This is exactly what I use, and I'm going to share with you these 3 processes in this video. Welcome back. Another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 visualization processes that I personally use in my own life, all of which these I believe are extraordinarily powerful, and it's honestly what I use to get to where I'm at now. Now think of it like this: the reality you might be currently living, the reality I was living where I was working a 9-to-5 job I wasn't passionate about, that reality was one where I thought a certain way, I felt a certain way, and I acted a certain way. My reality was equal to that. Then what I did is I imagined, I visualized the version of me that was killing the game, that was a full-time YouTuber traveling the world. I imagined that version of me. Now here's the thing, here's the funny thing. This version of me is in a way an illusion, because the truth is we're eternal spiritual beings living a temporary human experience. This version of me is still an illusion. Even though, yes, it is a more preferred reality, I do enjoy making YouTube videos way more than I enjoyed working a 9-to-5 job that I did not like going to. However, this is an act, and in a way, this is a more congruent, resonant version of me, but it is still nonetheless a form of an act, because we are having a 3D human experience. We're eternal spiritual beings. Now, the key is, if we get to choose, why would we choose the one based on autopilot of the one we don't prefer? Why wouldn't we just be the version of us that we want to be and decide this is who we are now? Well, visualization is a powerful tool for us to go from here, of say, this is who I am, this is my story, I'm so ingrained in my story, I have to work this 9-to-5 job, don't you know I have bills to pay? This is the way reality works. Well, that's one perspective, that's one story, and reality will be equal to that story. And then over here, it's another story. It's like, yo, I get to travel the world. Let me show you this view right now, okay? Not trying to brag or anything, but look, okay? This is what I visualized this reality before it came into manifestation. I literally visualized and said, I'm gonna make videos all around the world. All I need is a Wi-Fi connection, and I'm gonna make videos, and instead of me at my old house looking into my camera and behind me is a wall in Vegas, I wanna be able to look behind me and there's a beautiful view. And now there is a beautiful view, okay? I'm not saying this to brag, I'm saying this to know you can do it too. And one of the ways you bridge this reality from the 9-to-5 job and the reality where you don't feel very empowered to this reality over here where it's just fluid, it's just lax, it's not really, really important. Over here, this reality, like, oh my goodness, that's so important. But over here, it's just lax, just cool. It's like, this is just the way reality is. I get to travel the world. I was just in Tulum for a month. You see, there's a lightness to this reality. But the bridge is visualization. When you learn how to visualize, that changes absolutely everything. Now, the first visualization process I currently use and I personally use has to do with using visualization. Now here's the thing, here's what most people do with visualization. They visualize the reality they want, but when they visualize it, they're using their vision. Okay, I guess, oh, visualization, it has the word vision in it. But you see, there's different senses we have. Now, one of the most powerful ways that I've learned how to amplify my manifestations is to add more than one sense into the equation. Visualization normally is just, what am I seeing? What am I seeing? What am I seeing? If I can see it, then I can be it. If I can see it, then it'll be a reality. But understand that you also have the ability to imagine, use your imagination to hear, to imagine what it would taste like, to imagine what it feels like. You see, we have different senses other than just seeing and using our imagination for our vision. Now what I did and I do in my meditations and in my visualization process, and by the way, one of the most powerful ways to use visualization is a meditation, because you get into a relaxed state. You then many times will get into a deep level of subconscious mind, brainwave activity, which then influences your subconscious mind. But what I do is I imagine that version of me, what I would think, what I would feel, what I would see, what I would hear, what I would taste. So, for example, the way this would look is some people are like, I'm gonna imagine that I am at the beach. I'm at the beach, this is so cool, I'm walking around at the beach, okay. But this kind of visualization, you add more of the senses. You see, the more stimulation that your mind has, the more reference points your mind has, the more real it is to your mind. Your mind doesn't know the difference between what you're thinking and what you're imagining. So if you add in extra senses, it's not just you walking around at the beach, it's you walking around at the beach and feeling the sand underneath your toes. It's you hearing the waves crash against the shore, hearing people in the distance if there are people there. It is you living in this reality, knowing that it already exists, and then adding in the taste of the air, you see? So, tapping into the senses. And when we tap into the senses, we bombard our mind and it becomes even more real. And the key to this is knowing that the more real we make it on the inside, the more real it can then be on the outside. Understand, all reality is a reflection of our inner reality. Outer reality is a reflection of the inner reality, and if you feel as if that reality is already here, that will powerfully impact your life, but add more than one sense to it. Make it more visual, make it something that you really feel you're living in now. Now, something that I have for this as well is one of the most powerful meditations that I have is a meditation to listen to as you're falling asleep at night. Because as you fall asleep at night, that's the most powerful time to reprogram your subconscious mind. Listen to this meditation for 21 days. It will change your view of yourself. It'll change your vibration. It'll change your reality. 21 days is what it takes to really change your energetic field. And listen to it. Read the comments to see what's possible. It's the most powerful meditation to listen to as you're falling asleep tonight. I recently put it out and the feedback on it's been phenomenal. It'll be in the top of the description box below. But that one will guide you through my exact process for this help, and it makes you feel into it as you're falling asleep at night. And as you feel into it, it will profoundly affect you. Now, the second visualization process is one that comes from something called reality transurfing. It is called the slide technique. I've been using it for years, and this is what I used to do. I'd walk around the 9-to-5 job that I didn't care about, that I wasn't that passionate about. And what I would do is I would imagine this reality now. I would imagine this version of me. Now here's what the slide technique is. I call it the frame technique, but some people, you call it, I got it from reality transurfing originally, so that's why I'm paying due to it and I'm plugging it. Reality transurfing is a powerful manifestation process from a quantum physicist from Russia. And what the slide technique is imagine every possible reality you can imagine already exists. Use your imagination to imagine the version of you that's killing the game, living your dream life. Now realize that reality already exists. You don't have to create it, it already exists. Now what you do is in a visualization, you imagine that reality and what you would see if you were looking through the eyes of that version of you. Now, what that looked like when I was working my 9-to-5 job is I would imagine me making videos and behind me having an amazing view and being able to travel the world and do this from wherever I prefer, wherever I want. Well, guess what? That's what I'm doing exactly right now. That's what I use to bridge this reality. And visualization is a way to bridge that reality. But now here's the thing you don't want to do. There's a couple aspects to a slide technique, the slide visualization process. First off, you have to view it through your own eyes as if you were there. So for me now what is my slide technique? It's me traveling the world, being on stage and helping people to transform their lives. So once again though, I also combine the slide technique with adding the extra senses. So what I do is I imagine me on stage, imagine the heat from the lights. You can get really detailed with this. Imagine the temperature of the air. Imagine how, if there's water maybe right next to me that I can drink. Imagine all the people that are listening to what I have to say, that are nodding their head and that are powerfully thinking about themselves in a new way. What I do is I imagine this reality, not just one sense, what it would feel like, what I would hear, what it would sound like, what the temperature of the air is. And as I imagine it, I can see it out of my own eyes of that version of me, I begin to feel into it. Now the thing with the slide technique as well is you want to know that it can be natural for you. For that version of me to be in front of the group of people and to be sharing ideas, it's natural. Whereas even when I was working that 9-to-5 job and I was imagining the version of me that was traveling the world, didn't have to go to a 9-to-5 job anymore, and I had an amazing view behind me, I viewed it as natural. And for this version of me, this is natural. This isn't like, oh my goodness, it'd be so amazing. It just becomes your natural high vibe state. So with the slide technique, you want to also understand the degree of importance you may be given to things and realize that this can be natural for you. Just know that that version of you that already exists, it is just so natural, it is just so fluid, but what you want to do is you want to envision it as if that's one frame of reality, that's one representation that would wire in and prove to you that this reality is who you are. You see, and that's exactly what I have used in my own life to bridge this reality. And what you'll see is in the next 3 to 6 months, pay attention to what I do. You'll see that then I bridge that reality. So visualization is a bridge from the reality you don't prefer to be in to the reality you can enjoy more. And when you visualize it using more of the senses and using this frame technique by knowing that that version of you already exists, that's when it can powerfully begin to change. Now, the last part of this I want to talk to you about with visualization is something that has to do with intention. Now, intention is so powerful. Simply set more intentions and your life will begin to transform. You could set intention today, like if I were to set intention to go to the beach, I'd be like, I would set the intention to go to the beach, to enjoy myself, to set the intention to really relax and to put my feet deep into the sand, and to do maybe a meditation. You know, when you set more intention, if I set the intention to go to the beach today, that's more powerful than me just wanting to go to the beach today, because it's not a declaration, it's not something I've decided, an outcome that I've chosen. You see, now there's something called outer intention. Now, outer intention and inner intention. Inner intention is our own intention that our ego might want. The inner intention is a willpower that we may have. I intend to go to the beach. That's something that I want to do. I intend to go to the gym today. That's an inner intention. Now, an outer intention would be an intention outside of my own ego structure. So an outer intention is something when we begin to really align with the universe. Now, for example, I used outer intention to live in the old house that I had. I had a house in Vegas that I absolutely loved. It was right next to the airport. It was a very open floor plan. You've probably seen I have most of my videos were in that house with the big kitchen that had the echo that some people were like, oh, it's echoing. That was the house. And to get that house, there was competition. At least that's what would appear to be. There's competition. When I applied for it, to rent it for a year, which I'm now out of that house and traveling for a while before I go back to Vegas. When I decided I wanted it, there were 4 other applications on that house. So I knew there was competition. So what I did is I imagined that the universe wanted me to live there. I gave the house a personality. I went far with this. I gave this house a personality and imagined the house wanted me to live there because of how well I would take care of it. I was like, what is that word again? And this is what else I realized. The owners of that house, one of the things they asked for was they asked for pictures of the house I was currently living in as a part of the application process, which is weird. They don't normally ask for things like that. But they wanted to know that I was a clean person. Even though moving in, there'd be no furniture or anything. But for some reason, they wanted to know that. So I said, okay, that's obviously a value to them, is how clean I am. Well, first off, the house I was in was a model house at the time. And it looked, all the pictures were perfect. But what I did is to set myself apart, I wrote a letter to them, and I said, listen, your house is beautiful. I love your house. I think that I'd enjoy, I work from home. This is what I would love doing. I don't throw parties. I don't have pets or animals. People aren't going to be over all the time because I'm so focused on my craft. And I knew that wording it like that would ease it was their inner intention to have someone in the house that respects the house, that likes the house, that isn't going to damage the house. So I emphasized that. And I tapped into their inner intention, which is outer intention to me. Now, when you do that, that's what outer intention is. I got the house within 2 days. And even after that, after a year of living there, I needed to stay an extra 2 months. And they said, nope, you can't stay an extra 2 months. You have to renew a whole year. I was like, well, I don't need a whole year. I didn't want to have to move out before I went to travel because I knew that I wasn't going to travel till October and I was out in August supposedly. So once again, I did the same thing. I wrote them a letter. I tapped into their inner intention. I told them that they were worried that they wouldn't be able to show the house. Like the house wouldn't rent out in October as easy as August. So I said, how about the last 2 weeks I'm there, you could show the house and I have furniture in it that's really nicely staged and it'll probably be even easier for you. Plus I gave them a little bit extra each month as well to compensate for that. They said no the first time, they said yes the second time. You see, that's tapping into what is called outer intention. Win-win scenarios. But also there's an outer intention of collective consciousness, all of us connected. So by me making videos that add value to people, that my inner intention is I love making videos, I love growing and doing what I'm doing, becoming the best version of me to influence and to positively impact other people. That's my inner intention. The outer intention is other people want to transform their lives. Other people want to create their own reality in an easier way. By tapping into the outer intention of everyone else, and I use visualization for this. How can I also help other people? How can I visualize and be in this house, and this house wants me to be there and knows that I'm going to be doing a lot of higher vibrational consciousness work there? These owners want me to be there because of how well I'm going to take care of their house. These people want me to make videos because it has value to them. You see, that's outer intention. If you want to be in a relationship and you're thinking about you and how great you'd feel to be in a relationship, well, imagine you thought as well about how you could be around someone and give your energy to them. Do nice things for them. Take them out. You see, then you're tapping into what's called outer intention. So these 3 visualization processes will help you bridge to this reality, but like I said, one of the most powerful ways to do this is through meditation. So what I powerfully encourage you to do is to listen to the meditation below, the one that you listen to as you're falling asleep each night. It's a newer meditation, super powerful. Read the comments to see what's possible for you and commit to it for 21 days. It'll change your life. So if you like this video and you want me to share more of my own personal processes, because you do me a favor and smash the like button, let me know what you thought of this video, and I'll be making more like this of my own personal routines and stuff if you want me to make them. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, peace, much love, and namaste.